Welcome, everybody, to the Lakers Nation podcast and Facebook live feed. My name is Trevor Lane, senior writer for LakersNation.com. Today's show is powered by LakersNation.com and CLNS Media. Today we are brought to you by MeUndies. Go to MeUndies.com/LakersNation for 20% off a phenomenal pair of underwear. I'm wearing some right now. You can't see them because this is a family show, but they are amazing. We're also sponsored by Greats. Go to Greats.com, use the promo code LakersNation, get 15% off your first order of a phenomenal pair of shoes. They really are great. I just got a new pair and I love them. They are instantly my favorite pair of shoes, possibly that I've ever owned. They are that good. Now, we do have a new season of Lakers basketball starting up today, and with me I have Kulik and Corey Hansford of LakersNation.com. Guys, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. It's the first day, guys. It's like Christmas morning.
Ready to go.
So, right now, it feels like there's this energy throughout the Lakers fan base, and it's a little bit strange because this is a team that has not made the playoffs in 4 straight seasons, and they are not projected to make the playoffs this season either. So why is there this swell of energy coming up from Lakers fans? Why are people so excited to watch this team that is not projected to win all that many games?
Lonzo Ball. I mean, it's the new era. It's the new era of Laker basketball. I know I'm so excited. And like you said, everywhere I've been going, it's like the Lakers are just being like reinvented. It's all anyone's talking about. It's all anyone cares about. Ball jerseys are everywhere, so it's the first night.
It's hard to disagree. It's Lonzo Mania, Lonzo fever. Everyone's excited. Every move he makes, people are excited. And, I mean, it's hard to disagree, especially after you get a Summer League championship. We got a little bit of taste of winning. Now we're ready to go now.
So speaking of Lonzo, the big news this week was that Lonzo has gone 6-0 now in training camp scrimmages with a couple of different squads. Is there anything to really take away from that, or are those just scrimmages and we should just forget about it?
Well, I mean, it's about being level with everything. You don't want to overreact because it's scrimmages. You're playing against each other more or less. But at the same time, it says something that he can take one team and go 3-0, and then you put him on another team, and he goes 3-0 again. And it just kind of shows, hey, he makes people better, regardless of who it is. From everyone from Vanderbilt and Corey Brewer to KCP and Ingram and Randle, he has an impact, and that's the biggest thing you can do is, having an impact on everyone available.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it in the Summer League, but it just, goes to show that Lonzo Ball, no matter who he's playing with, is just going to make an immediate impact on the team and is going to be, make the team, anyone around him better. So I was excited to hear that, and hopefully it can carry out to tonight. I know it will, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, Lonzo does seem to be the big draw right now. Of course, there were some questions. We saw this play out a little bit during Summer League where teams have tried to take away the passing game from him. And I assume that's something we're probably going to see this season where teams are going to try to force him to be a scorer. Hannah, do you think he can adapt to that?
I definitely think he can. I know he's not necessarily looking to shoot first, but I think, again, he's such a special player. He has such a high basketball IQ. I'm sure he's going to be able to adjust his game. I know there's going to be adjustment regardless, but I think it's going to be something that he's going to be able to do. So I'm not super worried about it.
Corey, a lot of people have said that Lonzo is in the running for Rookie of the Year, that he's the guy who maybe should win Rookie of the Year based on his Summer League performance. When you ask Lonzo himself, he always pushes away from that notion and credits the team. How do you think that instinct from Lonzo to always go back and credit his teammates first is going to help as the season goes on?
I mean, it's literally what his game is predicated on. It's about everyone else. It's not about him. He always says it himself, I'm a winner. All I care about is winning, and that's all that matters to him. And so as long as the Lakers are winning, I don't think he cares too much about the individual accolades. He wants to win, and that's what's most important to him. And when guys see that, and when guys see, he doesn't care about his numbers, he doesn't care about his stats, he's just making whatever plays the best play, it becomes contagious. And you see it with the Warriors, you see it with the Spurs. It's just, hey, make this pass. Whoever's got the best shot, whoever's got the best play is going to make it. And that's what's going to happen. That leads to success, and that leads to chemistry and everyone looking out for each other. And that's more or less what's been missing over the last couple of years is a lot of solid individual players, a lot of talent, but everyone's not working together. And Lonzo can change that.
Speaking of what's been missing over the last few years, defense has been a problem for these Lakers for, the last few years anyway, during this downturn, defense has been a consistent issue. They were 30th in the league last year in defensive rating. That can't continue. How can they turn that around this year?
Well, I think it's just going to come down to energy, and it's going to come down to, I mean, obviously, in the Lakers training camp, that's been their number one priority is defense. I don't even think they worked on their half-court offense. Yeah, I mean, it's just been defense, defense, defense. So that's something that I'm looking forward to seeing tonight, and that's something that they have to obviously clean up. And I think bringing guys in like Brook Lopez and obviously KCP are going to be, guys that are really going to help out with that. So hopefully, because they need to.
Absolutely. And definitely, and the guys coming back have to step up. KCP is a proven defender. Receiving he can do. We've seen Lopez. You look at his numbers, you see it. But it's got to be Ingram who's got to be able to start making plays. It's got to be Randle who has to show more than a flash every 5 games that he can guard someone and work on rotations and off-ball help defense. And Clarkson as well, someone who's got all of the physical tools to be a top-flight defender, but has been admittedly himself terrible on defense these last couple of years. Everyone's got to step up. And it's about, once again, chemistry and communication. Everyone's got to be on the same page. Everyone's got to talk. And you have to have trust. If I go here, this person's going to help me out. And that's what's been missing. You saw it consistently last year. Guard gets beaten. Mozgov goes helped. His guy gets a dunk because Randle or Ingram or someone else isn't making that next rotation. It's always that second one that always hurts teams. And those are the great ones. Are good at those second and third rotations. That's what the Lakers have to get at, and that's hopefully what Luke's been working on.
Corey, it seems like the biggest offender from what you're talking about is Julius Randle, the guy who's really not rotating over. He's turning his head on defense. He's getting caught napping, and that's been a big problem. Now, we've seen, though, that Julius Randle over the summer completely transformed his body. This guy looks incredible. I mean, he is completely ripped. Do you think that he's going to have a better season because of this improved conditioning? Are we going to finally see Julius Randle reach his potential, or are we going to be seeing more of the same?
Well, first off, Julius inspired me, and I'm working on getting my 8-pack myself now. So, hopefully I can get like him one day. It's really an amazing transformation. But he has to. It's a contract year. This is his time to do it. If it's not going to happen now, then who knows when it's going to happen. He's going to have some challenges, of course. Like I said, Luke's wanting them to give the ball up to the guards to push him now, and that was kind of one of Julius's strengths, was being able to take it up the court. And I think in time he'll be able to. I think just for now, Luke wants to establish that run and everyone looking ahead and passing, and that's what Lonzo's specialty is. And Randall's more of a dribbler and wait until someone's right there in that spot to give him the ball up, whereas Lonzo's a push-forward kind of guy. I think he wants to establish that. But he's got all the tools, and like you said, with improved conditioning, you're not worried about getting tired. I don't need to conserve energy because I have energy days to work on offense and defense. So hopefully that, moves Randle to really step it up, because if he doesn't, if he keeps struggling on defense, we know Larry Nance will give us that. If his, jump shot or his right hand and he's still struggling on his offense, we've got Kuzma here who's going to give us some offense. So he's got guys pushing him right on his tail, where if he doesn't get better, he could find himself on the bench or in a lesser spot.
Yeah, it does seem like the Lakers have the most depth at the power forward position this year. That is going to be a complete dogfight for minutes there. By the way, everybody, if you have any questions that you want us to discuss, make sure you just go ahead and comment on the feed. Corey is keeping track of them, and he'll chime in when some good questions come through. Now, Hannah, let's talk about your favorite player since Corey brought him up. Let's talk about Kyle Kuzma.
Okay.
What are you expecting out of him this year?
Wait a minute, time out. Kuzma took Jordan Clarkson's spot?
No, you guys, I have love for both of them, okay? I love both of them. I've just been I've said it a million times, impressed with Kyle Kuzma. And I was excited when we drafted him, and I know I told everyone was all upset we didn't get Jordan Ball, but you know what? Kyle Kuzma's amazing. He was, Summer League Finals MVP. Obviously, we saw how great he played in the Summer League, and it's carried out into the training camp, so much so that Luke Walton's even now having, saying that it's going to be one of his priorities to find him those minutes, which is something, like you said, because we're so jammed at the power forward positions, going to be interesting. So I think he's going to come off and back up Brandon Ingram at the small forward position. I wouldn't be shocked if I saw that a little bit, just to get him those minutes, especially if he's able to knock down shots, because that's something that the Lakers really need. So if he can provide scoring, then he's going to definitely be playing some minutes.
So if you're saying that he's going to get the backup 3 minutes instead of playing most of his minutes at the 4, that means that he would be beating out Corey Brewer and Luol Deng, two veterans, for those minutes. Corey, do you think that's a realistic expectation for Kuzma to beat out those two?
It's very possible. I think anything's possible. I think that's honestly kind of what I'm looking forward to most in the preseason, is to see who kind of steps up on the bench to kind of get in the rotation. We know more or less who the starters are going to be outside of the first couple of games where KCP is going to miss.
Right.
But we know Lonzo, KCP, Ingram, Randle, Lopez, more than likely that's the starters. Okay, Nance and Clarkson pretty much set. After that, who knows? I could see Corey Brewer absolutely getting some minutes because he's the ideal wing that you want in a up-tempo transition kind of offense. He's great getting out on the wings. He's one of the fastest players. He's always in great shape. He provides solid defense, but he doesn't really space the floor. Could that hurt him? You know, where is Luol Deng going to find some minutes? Maybe he gets more comfortable. You know, it's very possible that Luol Deng, however 10, 12-year veteran, he could easily outplay guys in a preseason because he's used to it and he's comfortable, whereas Kuzma's never been on this stage and, you know, he hasn't dealt with the physicality and certain things. It's very possible. And even with the backcourt with Tyler Ennis, Josh Hart, maybe Vander Blue starts playing well, maybe Briante Weber shows up and does some things. There's a lot of things to go around, but, you know, Kuzma, Brewer, Dang, all those guys are going to be battling for wing minutes. And it says a lot about Kuzma that they want him to start playing the three, and they're working on him playing some more small forward because they know they need to get him out on the court. That shows the coaching staff's confidence in him.
Yeah, Kuzma is definitely one of those guys that has shown such great versatility, and that's something that the Lakers have talked about quite a bit this season, is having versatility, having players that can switch into multiple positions, and being able to really find success wherever they put them on the floor and whatever role that they need them in. Let's pause for just 1 second because I got to talk about Greats here. This the shoe company that has sponsored our show, and they're phenomenal. They've done a great job working with us. I have a pair myself. They are wonderful. Highly recommend you guys go check them out. Go to greats.com. Use the promo code LakersNation. They partnered with us, agreed to give you guys 15% off if you use that promo code. Highly recommend them. Go check it out. Greats.com. Promo code LakersNation. That's GREATS.com. So we're going to see Julius Randle most likely in that starting spot, but I know that's been kind of a point of contention lately. I've been seeing a lot of people talking online about how Larry Nance Jr., since he's been working on his shot, could possibly steal those minutes there. We also have Kyle Kuzma getting thrown in. Do you guys have a preference on who starts? Does it really matter? Nance himself said he's more concerned about who finishes the game than who starts.
Personally, I'm a big fan of Larry Nance Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a
secret weapon, right?
He's the secret weapon, but he's not a secret. It's anyone who watched the Lakers, even remotely close, you could see the impact that Nance had anytime he was out on the court. And he's someone else who stats don't always tell the story of what he does. When you're talking about off-ball defense, rotation, communicating, that's the stuff that he brings. He always, has hands in the passing lanes, tipping balls, starting fast breaks. We all know the great dunks and everything, but he's that important glue guy. And when you're trying to establish, a defensive mindset, but then someone else who can really get out and transition, understands the wings and running the floor, to me, Larry Nance is the perfect guy for that. And, if he's working on his jump shot and increases his aggression. I've seen a couple people point out that he kind of hesitates and, he's not always aggressive as he should be on offense. But if he works on that, it's hard for me to deny him a starting spot, or at least a very, very, very large spot in the rotation and possibly finishing games over Randle or other people.
Now, Hannah, we know you're a big Kuzma fan.
Yes.
Kuzma or Nance? Where would you go?
Kuzma, but I love
Put you on the spot.
I love Larry Nance, honestly, and like Corey said, he's a guy that just does all the little things that you don't see in the box score, but he's a guy that when he plays with the Lakers, they're a better team overall. He's a great leader, and if he can consistently knock down that shot, he's going to really be the Lakers' secret weapon. So I love Nance, and I'm excited to see. I hope that I know he's been working very hard this summer, and he's been playing very well at training camp. I know he won. They had the race or whatever, and he won that. So I'm looking.
Beat Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, I know. I know. Whatever. Jordan Clarkson didn't eat enough that day. Whatever. But I'm excited to see Nance because, like I said, I really like him. So hopefully.
All right, so Nance is kind of an energy guy. And speaking of which, we have to mention that one of our other sponsors for the show is Uptime Energy Drinks. Uptime, you can find them at 7-Eleven. Uptime is how energy should be. They are my favorite energy drink. Whenever I pass by a 7-Eleven, I always pull in and get one because they really are that good. And I'm not a big energy drink guy, but I love these things. Uptime Energy Drink. Yes, Corey loves energy drinks, and Uptime is the one that he drinks as well. Make sure you guys go check them out and find them at 7-Eleven. So I've seen a few questions here coming in on Facebook. Some people asking about LeBron James. It seems to be a big topic at the game tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm going to be talking to some fans about this. What do you guys think? Should the Lakers pursue LeBron James? Every time we talk about it online, I mention it on Twitter, anything like that, I see tons of kickback with people saying we don't even want LeBron. Guys, do the Lakers want LeBron?
Yes.
I'm torn about it. I'm torn because it's like, obviously he's LeBron James and he's the best player in the league, but, we would have to sign him for, I think, like a 4-year contract, something like that, and he would be older, and we all saw what happened when we got Steve Nash, and even, Kobe Bryant towards the last few years, the injuries start adding up, and I don't know, so it's kind of hard for me, but at the same time, it's hard. If LeBron James says he wants to come to your team, you make it happen. And
to me, it's as simple as, one, yes, he is still the best player in the league. I don't think he'd sign a contract that long. At least recently, he's usually just been signing a 1 year with a player option because he likes to keep his options open and keep moving stuff. So I don't think it'd be a long term. He immediately makes everyone better. He immediately makes your team a championship contender. And if the Lakers are trying to improve and get back to championship level contention as quickly as possible, there are very few people who you can get who can do that other than LeBron James. I'm not the biggest LeBron fan. Obviously, it's Kobe all day over here, and I understand that. But let's be real here. If you want to win and you're trying to get there as quickly as possible because we've missed the playoffs 4 straight years, then you want LeBron on the team. It's not, I guess say you're like selling your soul or something, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to win. And I think he gives that shot. And, there's no evidence that he's slowing down in any way, shape, or form. He's never gotten hurt somehow because I'm pretty sure he's a cyborg. I get that we don't, as Laker fans, don't like LeBron, which is still kind of weird considering as how we've never really had a rivalry with the Cavs or the Heat. It's really just the Kobe versus LeBron thing. But, if it's about winning as soon as possible, you want LeBron on the team. If you're willing to wait another 3-4 years, then fine. We don't need him, and we can keep building up guys. But if you're trying to win in the next year or two, then you want LeBron James on the squad.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement with that. I see all those comments, and I still think LeBron James, regardless of what you think of him, he is the best player in the league right now, and if you can get him on your team, you want him on your team. He's going to bring in other stars. That's what we've seen. It takes a star in order to land a star. And if you have a guy who's willing to sort of pave that way to the Lakers, and that's LeBron, if he's willing to do that, then I think you bring him in, and then you open your ears up around the league and you say, hey, who else wants to come? Who else wants to join and be part of this with LeBron James? Now, one of the arguments that I've seen is that the Lakers don't need LeBron James and Paul George because we have Brandon Ingram. And there's concern that if you add 2 wings like LeBron and Paul George, they would, in theory, take minutes away from Brandon Ingram. Speaking of which, we got to talk about Paul George in just a few minutes here. But Brandon Ingram, some people are saying, I think Magic Johnson even mentioned this, that they want to see him average 20 points per game. Hannah, is that a realistic goal for him, or is that setting the bar a little too high?
That would be amazing if he can do it, but that would be a huge jump. He averaged like 9 points last season. That would be a huge jump. It's definitely possible, especially because he's going to get a ton of minutes. But I think maybe around 15, 17 is somewhere that's more realistic. We need him to score. We need him to definitely make a big jump from the 9 points that he gave last season. But I think 20 might be a little high. I think 15 to 17 is a more realistic goal for him.
And I think that's also Magic kind of setting it purposely that high to shoot here. And I'm sure if Ingram ends up at 17 or 18, then they'll be happy with that. But, like you said, if I think the thing that hurt him most was his jumper being so bad. last year. And if that improves and that just gets to a league average level, if he jumps from 20-something% to 35-36% three-point shooting, that in itself is going to get you a nice lead. You add in a more up-tempo offense and Lonzo, looking and getting guys better shots. You can see where those extra points will come from, where he can make that jump. But it'll be tough for sure. At the same time, it's not many other guys who are definitely going to score. It's Brook Lopez. He's basically the only other real honest offensive option that you have on that team. And so someone else has got to get the points, and Ingram would be the prime candidate for it.
That does seem to be the case. I've been really impressed by Ingram's physique. Mm-hmm. He's still very much a skinny guy. I think he's always going to be a skinny guy, but he doesn't look like he did last season as a rookie. Last season, he looked like pre-super soldier serum Steve Rogers, right? He was really skinny. He has noticeably bulked up. He's stronger. We saw that in the one summer league game that he played. He was able to handle the play in the post a little bit better. So I'm optimistic, but I think 20 points per game is just way too big of a jump. But I'm excited to see what he can do this season. Now, speaking of Summer League, one guy that really struggled, and we know he's really upset about how badly he struggled in Summer League, was Ivica Zubac. And we know that the Lakers are now calling him, Mr. 8%? 8%, because he came back with 8% body fat. So Zubac, based on his struggles in Summer League, what does he need to do in order to sort of reclaim his spot as the Lakers' young big of the future?
It's tough. The style that the Lakers want to play isn't conducive to what Zubac is best at, which is, he's a traditional back-to-the-basket big. He's got some skills, and he can, step out and hit a 15-footer decently, but at the end of the day, he's a big 7-foot, very, very large man who's difficult to stop on the block, and he's very skilled, and you're trying to get up and down the court. It's going to be tough. I don't think he was in the best shape in Summer League. I think that was the number one problem. So they go up and down the floor a couple times, and he struggled. And to me, the worry as much wasn't on offense. It was more so the same struggles on defense and lack of rebounding. And he just seemed to get pushed around down low, which is something that shouldn't happen when you're 7 feet, 250, 260, whatever it is. And so as long as he keeps working, and he does seem to have the work ethic, and that's something that everyone's pointed to, Brook Lopez spoke to it as well, right. He's just got to keep working at it. I don't know if he'll ever be someone who's going to be comfortable stepping out and guarding guys on the perimeter on a pick and roll, but as long as he can be adequate there, his offensive skill set isn't going anywhere. That's going to be there. So I think him getting in as good a shape should help him out as far as getting up and down the court and not getting pushed around on the block.
And I don't know how much it bodes well for his future, knowing that we brought in Andrew Bogut recently as well. I don't know if the Lakers, are seeing Zubac as that guy, especially after bringing in Bogut. So it'll be interesting to see. There are definitely some question marks regarding Zubac.
Yeah, and there's really no great transition into this, so I'm just going to hop right into this. But we got to talk for a second about MeUndies. Now, MeUndies is an underwear company that is sponsoring this show. They send them directly to your door. They're extremely high quality. Go to MeUndies.com/LakersNation, and you actually get 20% off your order. All kinds of different patterns and styles and things like that you can choose from. I love them. Definitely recommend that you guys go check them out. Again, MeUndies.com/LakersNation. Guys, let's finish things up with Russell Westbrook and the impact that's going to have on the Los Angeles Lakers. Of course, we know that Westbrook just agreed to a $205 million extension with the Oklahoma City Thunder, and that means one less superstar free agent that will be there for the Lakers to chase after next summer. Plus, that could have an impact on Paul George, especially now that OKC has Carmelo Anthony. Corey, how do you see this all playing out?
The Westbrook extension was it always felt like he was going to sign it. Westbrook is a very, very loyal guy. He just wanted to know that Oklahoma City was going to be able to make some moves. You get Paul George, you get Carmelo. All right, you've proven it, and signs the extension. That one was, I never really felt that Westbrook was one of the guys that was definitely going to be here. And honestly, I'll kind of question the fit of a Westbrook and Lonzo Ball. Always seemed like a weird fit to me. Of course, in the Lakers position, you just get stars. You worry about the fit later. Right. But the question is just whether Oklahoma City is going to be able to be one of those top teams now. Paul George has said time and time again, even when he was in Indiana, sure, I want to win in Indiana first. I want to win first, and if I can't, then I will go somewhere else. So at the end of the day, is can George, Carmelo, and Westbrook coexist and be a legitimate challenge to the Warriors? And maybe they can, maybe not. I can very easily see PG taking a back seat with two aggressive offensive guys like Westbrook and Carmelo. And it's not like the coaching staff in Oklahoma City has been great at getting some creative offenses to get everyone involved in certain times. And I think if Oklahoma City struggles and maybe they're a 3 or a 4 seed, but a distant 3 or a 4 seed, and George is kind of a third option and not really being great, I think you could still see him want to come to the Lakers. But if they figure something out and they're challenging Golden State and it's a 6-7 game knockdown drag-out series, I think George would be stupid to leave, and I could completely see him staying there. So, to be continued.
Yeah, it's just going to depend, honestly, how they do this season because, I mean, I was pretty shocked when they brought in Carmelo Anthony. Like Corey said, I never really thought Westbrook was going to leave. He's a really loyal guy. It's part of the reason that I really like and respect Westbrook for his loyalty. But I don't necessarily think Westbrook was like the number one guy the Lakers wanted to get. Obviously, you just get stars if you can get them, but I think they're looking more towards LeBron James and Paul George. Obviously, with Russell Westbrook signing this extension and then bringing in Carmelo Anthony, and if they are able to give Golden State a run for their money, who knows if Paul George is going to leave, so that can be something that we have to look forward to. But, just is all going to depend. It's all going to see how the season plays out.
So, a little bit of a weird situation, but, I mean, Lakers fans definitely have an interest in seeing Oklahoma City not do so well this season. I mean, if they are successful, Paul George has already said, in fact, I think he said this today, he said that the Westbrook extension is going to make it an easier decision for him to make when he comes time to free agency, for better or for worse. I mean, if Westbrook is jacking up every single shot, then maybe it makes it easier for him to say, see ya, I'm out of here. But if they have success, and I suspect that just based on the talent, they're going to be a fairly successful team, maybe they could keep them around. Of course, we do have to note that if they keep Russell, we know they're keeping Westbrook. If they keep Carmelo Anthony and they bring Paul George back, Oklahoma City will have one of the largest luxury tax bills in the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
Huge, huge tax bill. So we'll have to see what they do. They would have some contracts they might have to clear. I don't know how they would deal with that if they're willing to go that far into the tax for those three guys. A lot of that's probably going to depend on this season. So let's wrap things up here. Final thoughts on the Lakers preseason. Anything you guys want to finish off with?
I'm just so excited to finally see them play in an NBA game. I feel like there's been so much talk, so much hype, and tonight's the night that we all get to see it together. It's like the first night of history. So I'm excited.
And just because I want to throw them out there, because there is still a shot that they could make the team. Vanderblue,
yes.
Briante Weber, VJ Beacham, Steven Zimmerman. I really want to see what those guys do. I've been a fan of Weber since his college days at VCU. And as, once again, an up-tempo, defensive-minded guy, he's got some kind of Patrick Beverly in him where you want to just have him go out there and sick on someone. So I'm waiting to see what these guys do. And just because I've seen a couple people ask, the game is at 7 o'clock tonight.
Right.
It's going to be on Spectrum Sportsnet, or if you're not in LA, it's on NBA TV as well, 7 o'clock Pacific time.
Yeah, it should be a really good one. We're going to see the young Lakers go up against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who now have added Jimmy Butler. Going to be a tough matchup for the Lakers, but it's going to be fun to see these new guys in there, see what happens with that last roster spot. We know Andrew Bogut is a partial guarantee, so that's going to be the question heading towards the regular season is who wins that final spot. Is it Andrew Bogut because he's a rim protector, or do they end up going with a guy like Vanderblue or Beacham or, of course, Briante Weber, Steven Zimmerman? They have these options there. Definitely going to be something to keep an eye on. So that's going to be about it for today. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, and those of you who are listening online. My name is Trevor Lane. We have been graced by the presence of Hannah Kulik and Corey Hansford here today. And this has been the Lakers Nation Facebook Live show. We'll be back doing this again before the regular season starts, before the Lakers open up against the Los Angeles Clippers, which I believe is the 19th of October, coming up super fast. It's going to be here before we know it, so make sure you join us for that. Don't forget, go to LakersNation.com, our one-stop shop for all things Lakers, phenomenal resource for all kinds of Lakers information and, of course, all the latest breaking news. Had a great time recording that show on Facebook Live and chatting with Hannah and Corey about the upcoming Lakers season. After that, Hannah and I headed out to the Honda Center before the Lakers took on the Minnesota Timberwolves, and we chatted with fans about what they are looking forward to this season. Trevor Lane and Hannah Kulik out here in front of the Honda Center. We've stopped a couple Lakers fans to ask a few questions. First of all, what are your names and where are you from?
My name is Wagner. I'm from Anaheim, California.
My name is Tristan. I'm also from Anaheim.
All right, guys, so a lot of the rumors have the Lakers landing LeBron James next summer. Can't help but notice that you are wearing a Kobe Bryant jersey, number 8 Kobe. What do you think about the possibility of landing LeBron James next summer?
I think you should stay in Cleveland. Down here where we're from, to be honest, I like loyalty, and it's definitely not LeBron.
Agreed?
Agreed.
Now, obviously, the Lakers got a ton of new players this year. It's a very exciting season. Who are you guys most looking forward to seeing this season?
It's funny because we're split, because I'm super excited for the Ball legacy, but
I'm rooting for Kyle Kuzma.
Good pick. That's Hannah's favorite, or maybe tied for favorite with Jordan Clarkson now, huh? All right. Hey, thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We've got another Lakers fan here. If you can give us your name and where you're from.
Jeff from Placentia, California.
Jeff, thanks for taking a minute to stop here. Now, the Lakers landed Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, got him from the Detroit Pistons as a free agent. What do you think his impact is going to be on the team this year?
Gonna love seeing his veteran influence on the team, helping everyone grow and develop a mindset of working, bring it on both ends of the court every night, and excited to see the young guys take on that mindset.
Now, I know there is so much hype regarding Lonzo Ball, but obviously another big player that we're really hoping great things for this season is Brandon Ingram. What are the things that you're most looking forward to seeing from Ingram this season?
I'm looking forward to seeing what everyone's talking about, all the hype that's built up around him all preseason. I'm excited to see what he's been working on all offseason. I actually got to see him up here when he played in the March Madness against the Oregon Ducks for his freshman year at Duke, and it was an awesome experience and definitely made me one of the Lakers to take him with that second pick for sure.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. Trevor Lane and Hannah Kulik out here in front of the Honda Center. We're going to talk to some Lakers fans here. Folks, give us your names and where you're from.
Hey, I'm Diane from Fullerton, California.
I'm Adam from Fullerton, California.
So we got to ask, this Lakers team has not made it to the playoffs in 4 straight seasons, not projected to make it to the playoffs this year, yet why is there still this excitement for this team right now?
Well, for me, it's going to be a lot more fun to watch than it has been the last few years. A lot more fun with passing and more interesting.
I think Lonzo Ball will change our team and make everyone play better and make all the players be better than what they were before.
Now, obviously, there are always a ton of rumors regarding the Lakers, but one of the biggest ones right now is that the Lakers are going to be getting LeBron James next season. What do you guys feel about that? Do you want him on the team?
Well, they always say stars are always on the Lakers, so I guess we should welcome him if he comes. It's always up to the player in today's NBA, but if he comes, that would be cool.
Me, myself, I'm not really interested after we went through the fiasco with Dwight Howard and way back. But and I'm just not that interested. I want to see where we go with this group.
All right, thank you guys. Thanks for stopping. Tell us where you're from and what your name is.
I'm from Los Angeles, California. My name is Glenn.
Glenn, so the Lakers are an exciting team this year. People are really fired up about them. Why are they so excited about a team that is not projected to make the playoffs?
Well, I would attribute it to Lonzo Ball, most exciting player who has been joining this team in quite some time, and everybody's excited to see, is he going to be the real deal or not?
Now, there are always a ton of rumors regarding the Lakers, and one of the biggest ones that we're going to get LeBron James. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't want to talk about next year. We're starting this year. I've had enough of that over the summer. Right now, I'm focused on this team. We'll wait to talk about LeBron for 8-9 months.
All right, thank you. That's going to wrap things up for us today. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Make sure you head over to iTunes and subscribe, rate, and review to this show. If you leave a comment with a question on iTunes, we will address it on air. Next week, I will be out. Corey Hansford will be filling in with me, and he'll have guest Alex Kennedy on to talk all about Lakers preseason. Don't forget, guys, we are powered by CLNS Media, and go to meundies.com/LakersNation for 20% off your first order. And of course, go to greats.com and use the promo code LakersNation for 15% off a phenomenal pair of shoes. Thanks again. This has been Trevor Lane. Find me on Twitter at Trevor_Lane. See ya.